Hello and welcome to Mukherjee Partho channel. All the matches of Super 8 stage are over. The semi-final lineup is clear. The world champions Australia, they will be facing South Africa, whereas New Zealand are going to take on Sri Lanka. But the last match between England and West Indies had all the ingredients of the drama that can unfold in an ODI match. Brian Lara was saying goodbye to international cricket, and both the teams had something to prove in this match. We will all miss Brian Lara. What a brilliant player he was. In my opinion, one of the best batsmen of all times. Well, he was a genius. The way he used to come to the crease, his high back lift. Initially, in the beginning of his career, he used to be pretty much in front of the wicket, but in the latter part of his career and in the last match, we also saw how he would shuffle, and one could see the exaggerated 3 stumps, but he was not getting bold. His eye and hand coordination was making sure that he could build up a wonderful innings. He was run out for 18 runs, a sad end to his last match. Nevertheless, he showed that how beautiful batting can be. His career can be divided into 3 distinct phases. The first phase from 1990 to 1996-97 was brilliant. 96 to 2001, there was a slump. But 2001 to 2007, he showed that what a class he was. And he was one of the top 5 batsmen of the 2001-2007 phase of the Test cricket, where his average was more than 60. And who was at number 1, or who is still at number 1? The Australian captain, Ricky Ponting, averaging more than 70. Lara did not wait or extend his career to equal Sachin's 35 centuries in Tests. Brian Lara decided to retire with 34 Test matches. His legacy in the cricket world will always be remembered. But he has said that he's not a man who is going to sit and just twiddle his thumbs watching cricket from the distance. He might be getting involved with cricket in a big way. And he has passed on his mantle to Lara Retires. And this young player has a lot to offer, and he has tremendous potential. The last match against England showed that the West Indian players have in them to come right to the top. And one hopes that Lara Retires will be filling the boots of Brian Lara, at least as the captain, to a large extent. "22,000 people turned up to see the last international match of Brian Lara, and they were not disappointed. It was the fitting finale of the Super 8 stage. England versus West Indies, and what a sensational match it was. Eventually England coming good with a 1-wicket victory. There are many pluses as far as England is concerned. Now when Andrew Flintoff was playing, it seemed that as if England might not be after all getting defeated in this match, and things were looking almost okay. But when he got out, well, West Indies had a whiff of victory. But then came Kevin Pietersen, and this man is awesome. He has reached 2,000 runs of his ODI career at the and he has become the second fastest. The earlier person was Zahir Abbas of Pakistan. Now he cracked a century, and this was his first century for a winning cause for his team. In fact, the previous 4 centuries were in vain. 3 for lost causes, and 1 match ended in a tie. When Kevin Pietersen was out, the West Indies thought, okay, here is a chance. We have to now go for the jugular. But then, who knew that suddenly Nixon will step into the shoes of this Kevin Pietersen, and in 1 over, he whacked Corey Collymore, and he brought England to the sniffing distance of a victory. And here comes Bravo, and entire stadium were just saying bravo, bravo, and he did what he was expected to do. He got rid of Nixon, and England were again tottering on the brink of defeat. But Stuart Broad was there, and he has a big legacy to carry forward. His father, Chris Broad, also played for England, and he is one of the ICC match referees. Then this guy, 20-year-old kid, he really held his nerve, and he took England to victory. Jamie Anderson giving him good support. Now as far as West Indies is concerned, it was sad. They came so very close to victory, yet they lost. They probably wanted to give the farewell gift to Brian Lara in terms of victory, but West Indies lost. Michael Vaughan came good with bat, and he has said that he is going to stay in cricket and he will be fighting to improve the performance of cricket. England have now appointed the new coach Duncan Fletcher. Must have felt happy in the last match that his boys played really well. The new coach Peter Moose, he has a lot of work at his hand, and when India visits England in the summer, I think he will have a lot to prove. But the way Michael Vaughan and his charge is played, and his boys, his other teammates played, I think England can at least have the satisfaction that they may have hit the rock bottom and they're coming up. And they will have to come together and probably the tide can turn. As far as West Indies is concerned, Ram Naresh 7 will have to carry forward this team. Now the West Indian selectors will have to make some tough decisions. They'll have to blood in some young people, and these young people would be inexperienced obviously, and at the international level they will take some time before they can get into the groove and give real competition. But the West Indians have always proven that they have in them, and once they are totally ripe and they have understood the ropes, they can give the run for the money for any team. Now as far as the semi-finals are concerned, well, South Africa will have to pull up the socks, and they got to put up a stupendous performance to beat the world champions to get into the final. Now if they can concentrate on Sean Tate. Sean Tate must maybe the fastest of the lot, and he wants to be the fastest of all times. He's clocking 145 kilometers an hour and more, but he's wayward. So if the South Africans can go and blast him away, then Sean Tate's line length can be taken apart. But they've got to be careful about the other guy, the Nathan Bracken, and the spinner Brad Hogg. This Brad Hogg is really doing wonders, and one just wonders why the subcontinental players from India and Pakistan cannot be bowling as good as Brad Hogg. But in the other semi-final, the New Zealanders have to be very careful about the wily Muralitharan. His doosra, it foxes almost all the top batsmen of the world. Now they have to contend with Chamin Abbas and Muralitharan, whereas the Sri Lankans will have to be very wary of the top-class bowling that Shane Bond delivers. But if they can withstand the onslaught of Shane Bond, then Sri Lanka may have just an edge, because their bowling with Chamin Abbas and hopefully Lasith Malinga will be back in bowling attack, and with Muralitharan, they can be quite a handful for the Kiwis. So the semi-final lineup is very interesting, and the last match of Super 8 was awesome. I'll be back with you again before and after the semi-final matches. Until then, goodbye from Partho Mukherjee.